Hey guys, today I wanted to talk to you about achieving your dreams, and this is like a really weird angle in my steering wheel. Doesn't matter. We're here for the words, not the looks. Anyways, so I wanted to tell you, yes, you, the person watching this video, that you can achieve your dreams. To a certain extent. I basically want to say, you can achieve your dreams. You can do it if you try. But there's obviously, certain dreams that some people can't achieve. Like, if you're colorblind, I don't know if you can be a pilot. So, if your dream is to be a pilot and you're colorblind, I'm not really sure if, sorry, this video is already starting out just so great. But realistically, I feel like for the most part, most people just don't go after their dreams, and I don't know why. I want to know why. Is it because it's intimidating, or is it too late? Is it ever too late? What's the reason? Because I just wanted to say that I am living my dream life. I have my dream job. And I have my dream home. I am so grateful for everything that I have, and it's just crazy to think that I made that happen. Just me. So I guess a little bit of background. I am an architectural technologist, and what that is basically a drafts person who draws up blueprints, architectural blueprints for residential and commercial. I'm not speaking well at all. An architectural technologist is a building scientist. But for me, what I do is I draw blueprints for residential and commercial construction. And my specialty, my favorite, is residential. So designing people's homes. It means so much to me because you live in it. Realistically, most people live in one house their entire life. Well, when you buy a house, usually it's just that's the house that you buy and you live in. And if it's not what you like, then what are you really doing? You're just wasting your life. I don't like where this video is. Oh man, it's just pretend that I'm not talking to a camera, because it's so much better when I just talk to myself. So for me, I think it's hard because you have to basically choose what you want to do when you're in high school to a certain extent. For me, I had to know I was doing drafting or blueprints or whatever, architecture at quite a young age. Luckily, with my high school, grade 9 was all, you take a little bit of every trade. And then in grade 10, you can decide what trade interested you the most. And then you kind of have a taste ooh, I think I'll really like electrical. And then you do electrical and you're like, bleh. For me, I've known at a very young age that I love houses. Me and my brother used to have this game when we would sit in the back of the car and we would point at every house and say, buy, sell, buy, sell. And it was called buy, sell. And if we like the house, we say buy. And if we don't like it, we say sell. So, choosing your dream job, whatever age you are watching this, don't assume that there's a limitation to your dream until you've actually tried every single aspect to get you there. Legally, of course. But for me, right now, I just can't believe that I wake up and I work from home, which has been a dream of mine since before as young as I can remember, which was really young. Literally, I could say my whole life I've wanted to work from home. I don't want to work for somebody else, and I want to make my own hours. And that sounds, from what I've been told from other people, that's very far-fetched. You can't do it. It doesn't work that way, girl. You have to be miserable to be able to survive. And it's I'm no. No way in hell am I gonna work for an employer and just be miserable my whole life. What's the point of money? And don't get me wrong, things are so expensive these days that it's literally impossible to survive, which is why barely any meals anymore because it's just so expensive. I bought like a bag of lettuce and it was like rotten already, and it was like $3. I'm like, $3 for a bag of rotten lettuce. What does this world come to? But anyways, for me, like, I wake up, for my life, I wake up, I work from home, I have my dream job, I am my own boss, I set my own hours, I am me. I make my own rules, to a certain extent. I do things my way. I just feel like I have that personality where I can take things to the next level. I feel like I am a very friendly person, and people have told me my whole life that they like dealing with me. And I respect that, and I do think that I'm a very respectful person. The lighting is like insane, but I really don't care. I guess like for me, whether it sounds unrealistic to you or not, for me, my dream is to make my own hours. And this is like my thought as a child and now, is when, actually a good example of this would be last year, but also in the future as well, that when I have a family and it's plus 30 on a Wednesday, and where I live is very far up north, so when it's plus 30, it is a rare ass day, and it is like 99% of the time, those plus 30 days don't land on a weekend. So unless you work, you know, here and there, like you don't like work straight weekends, you are probably not going to make it to the lake on those plus 30 days. For example, last summer, there were 4 half decent days to go to the beach. And by that, I mean, when they say it's plus 30, you drive an hour up to the lake and it's plus 25, 27 if you're lucky. So it's never actually really plus 30 where I live. Degrees Celsius, because most of people watching this video is probably from the United States, which I just don't understand Fahrenheit. Like, why do it that way? Anyways, so last summer, it was plus 30, which was more like plus 25, 4 days out of the entire year. 4 days. And guess what? Every single one of those days, 100% of those 4 days landed on pretty much a Wednesday. Yeah, like it was like Wednesday or Tuesday. It was never on a weekend. So if I'm going to hit the beach and go swimming, it's got to be at least plus 25 or I'm not going in the water. It's way too cold. Yeah. 3 out of those 4 days, I took the opportunity to, make sure that I was caught up in work. If I don't really trust the weather, like to predict a week ahead. I'm like, yeah, no, that's probably, that raven was like super close. So if I see that it's going to be plus 30 next week, then I always get my stuff done on time, but I will work overtime, extra hours, just to make sure 100% that my job is complete so that I can take Wednesday off to go to the lake. And I understand the whole give an employer a 2-week notice, but when it's Tuesday and all of a sudden the weather guy's like, tomorrow's going to be plus 30. And I'm like, hi, I know it's not 2 weeks, but can I get tomorrow off? And they're like, no, you have to have a 2-week notice. And it's like, but there's only 4 plus 30 days in all of summer and you won't let me take 1 day off? And I don't want to call in sick because that's lying. And it's just to me, it's a fucking shit show. And it's why live if you can't? So for me, I feel like someone's staring at me. Am I yelling? I don't know. I just feel live your fucking life, honestly. I don't know. Fuck calling sick. I don't really fucking care, really. I don't suggest it. I think it would be nice to have a reasonable employer who would be like, I see your point. Yeah, well, as long as your work is all caught up, you can have tomorrow off. Better. Thank you for being honest instead of calling in sick tomorrow. I appreciate that. Now I actually have some time to call somebody in to replace you or whatever. That sort of thing. Yeah. Well, so for me, working my own hours, I am able to do that as long as I do it responsibly. And that to me is literally a dream come true. If there's days where it's plus 30 and I have so much work to do, I won't go. I'm the type of person that, like, honestly, if I have a project that's not complete, I will just sit there until it's done. And I don't do it in an unhealthy way, because what I learned in college was if you actually don't take breaks, like fun breaks, you go crazy. You have to have time for yourself, because you could literally spend every single second of your life studying for something and you still won't remember it all, you know? And I noticed that in college. I'm like, I don't have time to play Sims. That's another thing that I really like, Sims and like building and designing houses. And of course, playing with their families. Most people don't, but I do. Or maybe most people don't admit it, but I do. Anyways, it's like, so in college, I was like, I don't have time to play Sims. I have to study. And then I just burnt out, and I'm like, what am I studying? What am I taking? Agriculture? Architecture? I don't remember. No, it wasn't like that. But like, for real though. And then I took a time where I was just like, just sit down and play Sims. And then it was just like an hour later, I'm like, wow. Wow. What a difference. So that's kind of what I mean by like being responsible with making sure that you get your stuff done on time. And like, yeah, I will sit there until the job is complete, but like to a realistic amount. Like mostly work like 8 to 5, or if I'm in the morning, then I'll work 12 to 10 at night. Like, it doesn't matter as long as I'm just getting the job done. And it just feels really good to be able to do things for me and not have to live my life for somebody else. And I know that a lot of people, probably most people watching this video, do work for somebody. Just even me starting out, most people in my life were basically like, it's not a real job. You're not gonna make it. And you can take time off whenever you want. And technically, yes, but I don't, because it's like, I don't like how that's one of the hardest things, is people expecting that just because you can make your own hours doesn't mean that you're gonna just take off Wednesday just because you can take your own hours off. Like, I don't like how people expect that. But I think after over a year and a half of having my own business, people are starting to understand that I'm like, hey, yeah, they're like, what's up? And because I work from home, it's like, oh, I'm just working, and okay, I'm coming over. It's like, no, I actually need to get this shit done. Don't come over. I'm not answering the door. You know what I mean? Like, that has been one of the hardest parts for me, but it's gotten a lot better. So I'm really grateful for that. I met somebody, my one friend, who I asked a long time ago, what is your dream job? And he's like, I want to be a game designer. And I'm like, cool, do it. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know how. And I think that is a big reason why people don't follow their dreams, is because they don't know how or what steps to take to get to that point. And I totally understand that, because there's been a lot of steps that I've taken in my personal life where it's like, no one's ever done this before. What do I do? What step do I take next? What paper do I fill out next? What form is this? What is what? And you just kind of have to take that leap and figure it out. And like, there's going to be good people along the way that'll help you. And you have to believe in yourself. 100%. You have to believe in yourself. And I 100% believe in you have to do what you love. So a lot of people are like, well, if I do what I love, I won't make any money. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But what I suggest doing, and what I've done, is wrote a big list of all of my interests, even the ones that maybe technically can't make money. Like, okay, I like soccer, cats, animals. I like nature. I like all of this stuff. So then you can look at all of this stuff. I like space. You can look at all of this big list and be like, huh, I can do something with that nature thing and the dog thing. I can be a dog walker and I can walk dogs for a living. Sure, it doesn't make that much money, but at least I'll be happy, and I can do it on weekends so I can make a little extra cash. Like, you know, there's this girl that I went to high school with, and I asked her one day, if you could have your dream job one day, what would it be? And she's like, it'd be really cool if I owned my own bakery. because she loved to bake. And I'm like, cool, do it. And she's like, I guess it was kind of like that other guy too. And she's like, well, I wouldn't be able to make money off having my own bakery. And I'm like, if you're good at what you do and you love what you do, usually when you love what you do, you're good at what you do, you'll make money if you truly, like, yeah, most of the time you'll make money. And not too many years after high school, guess what she did? She quit her day job and started her own bakery. And I can't say I feel responsible for her following her dreams, but I'll never forget encouraging people to just wake up and be like, what's stopping you from achieving your dream? You don't think you can make money, but have you actually tried? Start somewhere. I think she started by having it as just a side business after her day job, and then she was getting really busy, so then she was working part-time at her day job and then part-time more time on her dream job. And then her bakery business got so big that she actually could afford to quit her day job and just work full-time on the bakery. And as far as I know, she's still doing that to this day, and I'm just really proud of that. And I just want to encourage people to do what they love. And I know so many people who don't follow their dreams, and it's just like, what's stopping you? And I look at the good things and I'm like, you should never feel, we all have our good days and bad days, but the good compared to the bad is pretty fucking good. So just always just be grateful and aware of your surroundings and what you have so that you can appreciate life. Because I think just even sitting in this parking lot looking at people rushing around, people just rush through life and they just rush to the weekend, and then the weekend ends, and then they rush to the weekend again, and then the weekend ends, and it's like you're literally rushing your life away where you should just be enjoying every single second, every single day, everything. Don't rush. Like, look at the ravens on the roof, what I'm doing. Like, they're so cute. Leave a comment down below what your dream job would be or is. Are you taking any steps to do it? What are some steps that you could do to do it? I actually want to know. I want to help people get there. A lot of people I've talked to are like, I honestly have no idea what my dream job is. Like, they literally have no idea. And that's cool too, because then I feel like some things are actually fate and they just come to you at the perfect time. I hope that this inspired you to be exactly who you want to be. Live the life that you want to live, and the life that you were put on this planet to live. I mean, life is a gift, guys. I mean, for real. Look at, like, you're existing on this planet in this literally infinite universe. Like, can you imagine all the things that are out there we have no idea about? And we're just worried about these little things on this planet. If you want your dream job and you do everything you can to get it, you can do it. And there's going to be times when it's really easy, and there's going to be times when it's really hard. Never, ever give up on your dream. That's it from me. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye! Dream jobs.